Welcome to the Wise Stoic. If you're new here, you're in the right place to build wisdom, resilience, and inner peace. Let's start the video. Silence is one of the most powerful weapons a Stoic man can wield. In a world where people crave attention, validation, and control over others, your ability to remain silent starves their ego and robs them of power. Weak men react, argue, and seek approval. But a strong man, a stoic man, understands that silence speaks louder than words. When someone tries to provoke you, they expect a reaction. They want you to engage, to defend, to prove yourself. But when you remain silent, you deny them what they seek. Your lack of reaction frustrates them, confuses them, and ultimately weakens their hold over you. Because the moment you stop feeding someone's ego, they begin to lose their grip on you. This is why the Stoic man does not waste energy on arguments. He does not explain himself to those who are committed to misunderstanding him. He does not beg for attention or chase after those who do not respect him. He knows that his silence forces others to reflect on their own words and actions, while his absence creates a void that speaks louder than any response ever could. When you walk away in silence, you show strength. You demonstrate that you are not controlled by emotions, by pride, or by the need for validation, and this makes you powerful. People who thrive on conflict, on drama, on manipulation, they hate silence. They need a response to fuel their ego, to feel in control. But when you give them nothing, when you simply withdraw your energy, you take away their power. A man who understands the power of silence does not react. He observes. He listens more than he speaks. He knows that words should be used with intention, not wasted on those who do not deserve them. And because of this, when he does speak, people listen. Weak men seek to be heard at all costs. They explain, justify, and argue in hopes of proving themselves. But the Stoic man knows that silence is often the best response, because in the end, the man who controls his words controls his destiny. A Stoic man understands that silence is not weakness, it is control. In a world where people are quick to speak, to defend, to react emotionally, the man who remains silent holds the real power. Because when you don't give people what they want, when you deny them your energy, your attention, your reaction, you make them question themselves. When someone insults you, criticizes you, or tries to belittle you, their goal is not just to express their opinion, it is to provoke a response. They want you to feel offended, to feel attacked, to react in a way that justifies their words. But when you remain silent, when you refuse to engage, you do something far more powerful than arguing back. You make them feel irrelevant. The worst thing you can do to someone who thrives on ego is to ignore them, because when their words do not get a reaction, they lose control. They start to question their own importance. They become unsettled, frustrated, even insecure. Your silence forces them to sit with their own thoughts, and that is often the greatest punishment of all. This does not mean you should never speak. A Stoic man chooses his words with intention. He does not waste them on meaningless debates or emotional outbursts. Instead, he speaks when it is necessary, when it serves a purpose, when his words will have impact. And because of this, when he does speak, people listen. Many men struggle with silence because they associate it with submission, with passivity, with weakness. But this is a mistake. Silence is only weak when it comes from fear. When a man remains silent because he is afraid to speak, because he lacks confidence, because he does not know his own value, then, yes, his silence is a sign of weakness. But when a man remains silent out of choice, when he withholds his words because he knows he does not need to explain himself, that is a sign of strength. That is a man who owns his energy and refuses to waste it on things that do not matter. This principle applies to every aspect of life, whether it's dealing with conflict, relationships, or even in moments of power. A man who understands the power of silence can control a room without saying a word. He does not need to prove himself through endless explanations or justifications. His presence alone demands respect. The greatest warriors in history understood this. The strongest leaders did not speak more, they spoke less, but with greater purpose. Their silence made people uncomfortable. Their lack of reaction forced others to rethink their actions. The moment you stop reacting, you become untouchable. No one can control you. No one can manipulate you. No one can feed off your emotions. You become a man who moves on his own terms, unaffected by the noise of the world around him. Because in the end, the man who speaks only when necessary, who holds his silence with confidence, is the man who truly commands respect. Thank you for watching. If you found wisdom in this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with others on the Stoic path. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay connected.